Hello everybody. So if you're here, you're probably looking for a way to run FL Studio on Linux or under Linux, and you probably haven't figured out a way to do it just yet. So I just figured out how to do this, and I'm not too sure if this is the correct method or if there's any other way that you can do it that's better, but I know that using bottles didn't work for me, and that's the other option that people have uh, figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to show you guys how to use FL Studio directly under Wine. And yeah, so let's get into it. So the first thing that you're going to need is whatever like package manager or installer that you have that you're installing your things with. You want to use that, and then the whatever commands that you or options that you use for installing, you're going to install Wine and Winetricks, and that's literally all you need. After you run this, you're going to run Winetricks just like this inside of your terminal. If you're using a different distribution, it might look a little different, but for me, I'm using Arch Linux, so everything was kind of built from ground up. If you have something that's a little bit older, I'm not too sure if this is going to work the same. I'm not, so just bear with me, get inside your terminal and do what I'm doing. So Winetricks, when you run this is what you're going to be met with. From here, if you don't know what any of this is, it doesn't matter. It's already going to put you on the option that you want to continue with, and that's select the default wine prefix. The wine prefix is where we need to be more familiar with the wine prefix. I'll show you that and show you where it's at in a second, but that is essentially where everything's going to be run or ran out of. So as you can see, I just clicked on run an arbitrary executable. You need to get familiar with this command right here, not necessarily anything else unless you want to start uninstalling or doing other things. But for right now, we're just installing, so only think about this one command. Okay, so bear with me guys, I forgot to put this in the video while I was making it, but before you go in and actually install FL Studio, you're going to want to go into this section of the Winetricks setup thing that we were just looking at. And instead of running the run executable option, we're going to go ahead and run the install fonts option. And then from there, you're going to want to select all of the options that are on screen right now. Those are all of the Microsoft options. And I don't know if that's like the right way to do it or not, but that's what worked for me. So just go ahead and click on all those, select them, and then install all of those fonts before you run the executable for your installer on FL Studio or any of your VSTs. So we click this, run an arbitrary executable. From here, this is going to show you a file system. So wherever your downloaded things are, so let's say we go to the internet, and I'm about to show you how you would like download FL Studio and all those things, but right here, this is where you need to be even more familiar with. So after you have run that option, you're going to be met with this page. From here, you can just look around inside of your file system on your computer and find that download file wherever it was. So for me, I've already downloaded the FL Studio file from their webpage, the 2025 or the 25 FL Studio 25 or whatever it is, that executable. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys right now where you would get that from. So right here on the FL Studio website or the ImageLine website, where you would otherwise download the Windows program, that's where you just go ahead, hit download, and then you're going to be met with this executable. It's the exact executable that I have right there. This will also work for other programs like your VSTs. So right here I have a Surge XT Windows VST, but you don't have to use their Windows version. They also come with a They also come with a Linux option. So what you can do for any VST that has a Linux option, just come in here and then install their .tar.gz or whatever one works for you under your Linux distribution, and then install it that way. So after we've downloaded our FL Studio, like our executable for that, we just go ahead, click on it, and then we click OK. After you click OK, it's gonna show, like, it's gonna go through the regular install options. Just run through those exactly how you would on your regular program, or on your regular program, on your regular operating system. So Windows in this case. So if we come over here, I had to do Winetricks over again, and then I pulled this page back up, or this program back up. After that, you click this same option that we've already clicked before, run an arbitrary executable. That's literally just running the same executable that we just downloaded into our system. So after you click that, then you go into wherever FL Studio is installed on your program. And that's usually going to be in this directory right here, home user .wine drive _c program files image line and then FL. And then that's probably where your stuff's going to be. So if you don't know how to get there, go to show other locations, go to computer, go to home, go to your user, and then from here, you're going to want to right click somewhere, and I already have it. So you're going to want to right click somewhere and then show hidden files. Scroll down all the way because it's W. .wine, double click that. Drive C, double click that. And then from here, I believe it's program files. Yeah, program files, image line, FL Studio 2025, FL64.exe. So what I like to do, just for convenience sake, because this is how you're going to be running FL Studio in the future. So every time that you boot in, you run, or every time that you want to run FL Studio, you run Winetricks, do the run an arbitrary executable, go back, you know what I'm saying, and then find this executable. But instead, if you don't want to find it, you can, right here on image line, you want to right click this directory and then add to bookmarks. And then that'll add a bookmark right there, or wherever in whatever file system that you have. And then from there, you can just click on that and then click the FL64.exe and then click OK. And that is how you would run FL Studio. Now, you might be met with a lot of errors and like all these sorts of things, but you're running a Windows program under a Linux operating system. So things are just not going to work, but that doesn't mean everything is not going to work. So you can click OK, click OK. Now, as you can hear, like I already have sound, but that's because I already wired it up to be how it's supposed to be for me, I'd say. So if you have Pulse Audio, if you installed Arch Linux, you most likely have Pulse Audio. But if you don't have Pulse Audio, then I recommend going down into the description, joining my Discord, and chatting with me personally, and I can guide you into like really figuring this out. Input, output. You want to use Pulse Audio output because that is going to be the closest thing to hardware output or input and output that you can get. You can use drivers, but personally, using a sound interface, it hasn't been the best for me. So I'd say if you can use the closest thing to whatever like hardware device that you're using is, if you're using headphones that are plugged directly into your computer and you're using a Pulse Audio, for example, I would just do that. And the reason why I say that is because when you click that, you get like this option right here. You get to move around your buffer length, and at first it's going to be set like right here. I think it's like 93 ms. That's a little too late with latency. So if we come into a piano roll and let's change our sound. Let's replace it with a FL keys. Okay. As you can hear, like every time that I click, it's a little bit late. I don't know if you guys can hear what I'm hearing, but it's a little bit late. And then if you move it up just a little bit, oh, okay. See, now this is the other thing. When you're moving around with things underneath, it can get a little, like, things can get a little tricky, things can get a little shifty, but nonetheless, everything still works. So don't be afraid to use your fingers, okay? So from here, come here. Boop, boop. We don't like how late and laggy that is. So we come back to our audio settings. Okay, so we come back to our audio settings, and then we grab this bar, or this thingamajig, and then we bring it down to this next level. At 47 ms, we basically get near zero latency. See, every single time that I'm clicking, my brain registers it as soon as I click. So that tells me it's working. All right. I am using Wayland Compositor, so things are a bit weird and tricky for me, and I'm pretty sure that's why Bottles was being a little weird. But if you're using X11 or Zorg, then you don't really, I'm not sure if you're going to have the same issue or not. But the flickering is annoying. Okay, that's the only issue that I have found, other than, things kind of just merging together, and things are getting a little weird. But it doesn't matter because everything works. Like I can use the buttons. I can use the sounds. That's like the most important thing. Hold on, let's use a funky sound. Hold on. We can use the sounds, okay? So that's really what matters. So